What is up, Salon, Spa, and Beauty Professionals? It is Katie here, coming at you live on Monday, September 28th. Super happy and pumped to be here with you guys. In this live training, we are going to be talking about the 5 mistakes that salon and spas make that your clients absolutely hate, coming from my own personal point of view and my own personal experiences as a client, even a client of some of you guys in this group. So buckle up and sit tight because you've got a Katie rant coming on this Monday. If you are catching me live, be sure to type in hashtag live down below. And if you are catching the replay, be sure to type in hashtag replay down below. That way I know you're here. I know that you are joining me, that you're listening, and that you are engaging and going along with me. I'm gonna give my computer a few refreshes just to make sure that I am live. I see Bree is on with me. What is up, girlfriend? I'm gonna scroll down real quick so I can see all of your comments on the computer. And awesome, I'm live, I'm clicking, we are pulling it up. Hope you guys are really pumped. This is definitely a huge topic that I've been waiting to go over with you guys that is just very exciting and very important. Because, you know, I can yell at you all day long about what to do, but what not to do is also a huge and important topic as well. With that said, you guys, if throughout this live you are wanting to like dig deeper into these topics, you're wanting more information over these different tactics and things that I'm saying at any given point, just hashtag elite down below and I will have one of my my assistants reach out to you and set you up with a one-on-one and give you that direction that is needed. With that said, like I just said, hashtag live if you're catching me live, hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. You guys know the drill. And as always, if you are new and you are joining us, please write below who you are, where you're from, and what you do. That is how I get to know you, get to know your face, your name, and get to interact with you on all these lives and really cater them to you guys and your needs, okay? With that said, let's just dive right into it, okay? You guys, these are the 5 mistakes that salons and spas make during appointments that totally just like ruin your client's vibe. It makes clients not want to come back to you. It makes the experience kind of draining on the client. It's things that really set the wrong tone for your relationship with your clients. It sets the tone off really wrong and it makes it to where you're not gonna build that long-term and sustainable relationship with them, okay? This is things that I have noticed through years and years of appointments in this industry. I mean, I started getting my hair done in 5th grade, so decades, honestly, of appointments in this industry and, you know, going to so many different beauty pros over the year for hair, for nails, for skin, for all of it. This is a few of my takeaways that I think personally make just the biggest difference in the client experience in a way that really sets the tone for a long-term and sustainable relationship, okay? So without further ado, let's dive into it. The number 1 mistake that salon and spa professionals make upon having a new client come and sit in your chair, excuse me, is not doing a consultation at the beginning of the appointment. First thing, walk through the door, you should be having a consultation with those clients. I have found that most of the time, when a client books an appointment online, let's say for aesthetics, they're booking a microneedling appointment. For hair, they go in and they book themselves an all-over color appointment. For nails, they go in and just book themselves a deluxe manicure. Whatever it may be, you take that as just truth. Like that's what the client wants, that's what the client's gonna get. When in reality, you as the professional, it is in your best interest, and it is your duty, obligation, and responsibility to guide that client to what they need, not just what they think they want, okay? Here's a prime example. I went to go get my nails done this past Friday, and online, you know, I saw all the different 100 menu options that they had, and I booked a service, but when I got there, after talking to the rep and talking to what she had to say, I wound up going with a completely different service for my nails. Why? Because what I booked isn't actually what I needed. What I booked wasn't actually what was going to yield my intended result for how I wanted my nails to look. And it's the same thing for hair. I, a couple years back, actually booked an all-over color appointment for myself because I had blonde hair and I wanted to go brown. When in reality, all over color just ain't gonna do it. We needed some dimension in there. We needed to bring the hair to life, and just slapping brown dye on my hair wasn't gonna get me to my intended result. And the only way we found what I actually wanted was through a consultation, okay? It's through asking those hard questions and those important questions. Right down below, let me know, are you doing consultations at the beginning of every single appointment right now? If you're not, write down below that you are going to commit to actually doing it, because I cannot stress enough how important it is, especially to dive deep into your client's history. When I would go places as a brunette and I was getting my brunette freshened up, I had already had bleached hair in the past, but they didn't know that because they didn't think enough to ask. And when I've bleached my hair so much, it actually made my hair follicles very porous, is what other experts found out. So when you put brown dye on my hair, it actually sucks it all up really freaking fast, and it like 10x's the processing time for, or not the processing time, but how quickly that brown processes. So where, you know, normally you'd be putting kind of an ashy brown on my hair, you would wash that dye off and it would be freaking almost black. Like, not the intended result whatsoever, not what I wanted, not what the stylist was expecting. Why? Because they didn't dig deep enough to find out what I needed, what I wanted. So I walked away unhappy as a client. I walked away thinking they had no freaking clue what they were doing. Like, okay, we said we were dyeing my hair light brown. Now I'm walking out of the place with black hair. Wonderful. Okay, do you see how transparent I am? Black hair don't look good on this. Like, not my intended result. And the means of which your clients are going to decide whether or not to come back to you time and time again is if on that initial visit it goes the way they expected it to, okay? Clients don't come back because you did not meet their expectation. And the only way to ensure that you meet and surpass and 10x what their expectation is only if you do the consultation beforehand and you dig deep into the root of the problem, okay? What questions do you guys have while we're on this topic in regards to consultations, okay? Go ahead and write below what questions you have about what you should be asking, about what it looks like for your particular service, about any of these things, or what your goal is with them, okay? I want all your questions in. I want to be able to answer them. And additionally, you guys, we have in our elite program step-by-step guides to running a profitable consultation for your business, ones that can actually increase your bottom line, increase your bottom dollar for how many or how much money, how many dollars you can get out of each individual client. If you want access to those consultative scripts and you want to dive deeper into what a consultation should look like for your service, go ahead and type in #elite down below and I'll have one of my assistants reach out and get you access to some of those resources and talk you through some of these things for sure. But regardless, guys, consultations are one of the biggest stepping stones for your service. It is the biggest thing that you can be doing that is going to set the tone for a long-term relationship with your clientele, okay? Sets the tone for the entire appointment, sets the tone for everything. So that is step number one. The second huge mistake is not explaining what you're doing through every step of the process, okay? I'll tell you what I mean. I go in to get my nails done this last Friday, just like I already told you guys, and the expectation was I wanted a fill, okay? The woman briefly explained why I couldn't get a fill. Obviously, I'd let them grow in too long. I'm not really responsible in that regard. And so she sits me down without explaining anything about it and just wraps my hands up in some tin foil and acetone, which I had never had done to my nails before, and drags me over and sits me in the pedicure chair. You guys, within 10 minutes, my hands are on flipping fire because of the acetone. It's seeping into the little cuts I have on my fingers. My hands are getting physically hot, And like I said, I've never had this done before. Now, hindsight 2020, I know that she was breaking down the acrylics on the tips of my fingers, et cetera, but I didn't know that at the time. So I'm just sitting there thinking some chemical reaction is going on my fingers, and hell, if I know in 45 minutes my fingers are gonna fall off. I didn't know how long it was supposed to be on there. I didn't know what the goal was of her doing that. I didn't know anything. So me as a client already have a bad taste in my mouth from the get-go because I was not informed of what the hell was going on, okay? Every single client appointment, you need to go into it as though, especially new clients, as though that client has never had their hair done before, or never had lashes on before, or never got a facial with you before, or never got their nails done before, never got waxed before, nothing. You need to assume they know zilch not a nothing about the process, okay? Don't think just out of the blue that this person's been getting waxing done for 20 years, so they should know the process by now, okay? Because chances are your process is different from Susie's process across the hall, different from Haley's process down the street. It's different from everyone else's process, okay? So you have to take the initiative to explain every step of that appointment to your clients right off the bat, okay? So right after she told me that I wasn't gonna be able to get a fill, when she sat me down, she shouldn't have touched my hands yet. She should have said, here's what we're gonna do, okay? First things first, we gotta get the current acrylics off those fingers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap some acetone in foil and put it on your tips. It's gonna break down the acrylic that you have going on there, okay? And that's gonna stay on the whole time while you're getting your pedicure. You might feel a little bit of a heated sensation. It might get a little bit warm. That's just the chemical reaction, but no worries. There's nothing to fret about. You'll just leave them on. They'll get a little hot and it'll be fine. Those will stay on throughout your entire pedicure. By the time you come over for your manicure, your acrylics will be melted off and we'll be good to go. And we'll start the process of getting new nails on, okay? That right there, just that one simple change, that extra 30 seconds of explaining the process to me would have calmed me down, okay? Would have made my anxiety to a minimum and would have made me a happier client, okay? Never, ever, ever assume your clients know what's going on, because 9 times out of 10, they ain't got a damn clue, okay? They may have gone through the whole process before and probably didn't even pay attention. Chances are your clients don't know what's going on, and a confused client is not a happy client, ever, 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 ever. And when one thing happens that a client did not expect, I mean, it has the ability to make the entire appointment experience go in the wrong direction. For me, that level of confusion made my experience in that appointment go in the total different direction, okay? Ruined my experience with them because I'm like, what the hell is going on? And that's what your clients could be thinking of you too if you're not being overly communicative from the beginning, okay? So, number 1 was you have to be doing consultations at the beginning of the appointment, okay? Never, ever, ever assume what the client booked online is exactly what they need. We need to talk about these things before we need to diagnose what the solution is going to be to their problem. And number 2 was always, always, always explain what you're doing as you're doing it. Explain the process of the appointment. Never leave any ambiguity in that client's mind as far as what is going on, okay? Now, again, if you want to dive deeper into these concepts, you want additional training and additional help to actually implement these in your business and find out what they look like, go ahead and type in #elite down below and I'll have one of my assistants reach out for some resources that you can grab, as well as offer some one-on-one help to you. Now, number 3, actually, wait, just kidding. I did see some comments come in, so I'm gonna go read a few of those really quick. Jeanette said, my primary service is a Brazilian. That's pretty straightforward. I can't freaking talk. Mondays. I can't talk, you guys. Karina said, I actually had a few clients not come back because I did not give them what they wanted because what they wasted wasn't suitable for them. Yep. When a client doesn't get their intended result, they're not going to return. That's a fact. The only way to ensure that we are delivering the client's intended result, we are meeting the client's expectation, is to do the consultation beforehand and to explain the process as we go through the process. Explain every step of the appointment as we go through it to make sure they 110% understand everything that's going on and we are meeting those expectations. She said wanted, okay? So it wasn't suitable for them, for sure. Amanda said it is mandatory in her salon. Love to see it. Beth said hashtag late. Awesome, Beth. I will have my assistant Hunter be reaching out to you. Jeanette said I do have them fill out a simple client health consent form. I asked if they've had a Brazilian in the past and how was their experience. Okay, that's awesome. Now, you don't just want to ask how their experience was. You want to ask, what didn't meet your expectations there. You want to dive into that. Here, I'll tell you why that is. So this was now the second place in Fort Lauderdale I've gone to get my nails done at. And she asked me, who'd you go to before? And I was like, oh, I went to so-and-so's salon. And she was like, oh yeah, like I heard Mike works there, like Mike's great, da-da-da. But she didn't dive deeper into why the hell I was at another nail salon. So you want to be diving deep into why they're at a new waxing place. Is it because of something that went wrong there? Is it because maybe that person's out of business now? You don't just want to ask how was their experience in the past. You want to ask why they're not going to that person anymore. Because that's really going to divulge whether or not maybe they're a flaky client and they just go to the deal of the week, or if that person really did not meet their expectations and what you can learn from that person's mistakes. And that is huge. That is a huge turning point for anyone. You should be able to learn from your clients' past experiences and mistakes as far as how to treat them and what their expectation was. It may be that, well, my last person was 10 minutes late for every freaking appointment. Now you know that punctuality is huge for that client, okay? So well, if I show up late, I'm probably breaking this deal with this client. So punctuality is big for them. You may find out that, they have a certain expectation on cleanliness or a certain expectation on, PPE that they want to be used around them, that maybe that last person didn't meet, that maybe you can now do better. Like, you never know what someone else's past experiences are. And that's why you want to dive in deep. Wendy Bartow said, I'm here. Welcome. Kirsten said, treat each appointment as a teaching moment. Beautiful. Never assume they know anything. Literally assume they're like third grade reading level, like don't know crap about crap. Like literally assume that about your clients. Assume you have to break everything down to a third grader standpoint and you 100% will be sitting in a better position. April said, good info. Thanks, that's what I'm here for. Now that we've gotten through those first 2 points of always doing consultation at the beginning of the appointment, number one mistake is not doing that consultation. Number two mistake is not explaining what you're doing as you're doing it and leaving the client blind, which blows expectations. And number three that we're gonna dive into right now is not offering the client additional solutions to their problem, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna throw someone under the bus here, but I'm not gonna say their names, but they're probably listening, so you know who you are. I went to go get my hair done a few weeks ago and went through the whole consultative process. It was a really good consultation, but they forgot to do one thing, okay? And this is a huge question you wanna be asking. Are there any other problems or any other issues that you're having with your hair, with your skin, with your nails? You want to ask a layer deeper from the issues that they've already divulged, because with this consultation, we spent 10 minutes talking about hair color and not a single second talking about haircut. So when it came time to schedule my actual appointment, I, as the client, had to actually ask, oh, hey, yeah, can I get a haircut as well? Your client should never have to ask if they're allowed to get a service with you. It should already be offered through the consultative process. So your consultation should pull out of that client every single issue or problem that they're having or thing that they are not happy with when it comes to their hair, their skin, their nails, etc. Your consultative process should divulge all of that. It should be able to pull every single bit of that out of the client. It should not just be your basic, okay, so you want to get color done. Do you want it to be blonde or brown? Like, it shouldn't be that level. It shouldn't be that surface level. It should go deeper, okay? Ask about all the problems. Are you having problems with dryness, frizziness, oily scalp, dandruff? Do you like the length? Do you not like the length? I can see we have a little bit of dead here, dead ends. Do we need to take care of that? Divulge every area of what you do, okay? Because not only for one, it's gonna raise your average ticket price. For two, you're not gonna miss out on any revenue that could be laying out on the table for you from a problem that your client actually wants fixed. And for three, your client is going to walk away happier because 100% of their problems are solved. Not 70%, not 60%, not they walked out the door and said, well, I wish this would be different, or I wish they would have done this way. They won't walk out the door with any of that because we asked the right questions and we got everything out of them that we needed to know in order to make the right service offering, okay? Your client should never have to ask you for additional layers of your service. If you are doing aesthetics treatments, they should never have to ask, oh, and can I get dermaplaning too? Can I get hydrofacial too? Can I get microcurrent too? Can I take home some product too? If it is the right solution for them, it should already be offered to them, okay? So think about that next time you have a client who literally has to ask you for an additional level of your service or for an additional product or additional retail or anything in that regard, okay? Because that right there is a key point to, I could have done better. I could have done better from the beginning of this conversation. I could have asked more questions and dug deeper if this is something that they are seeing as a problem. Like if you get all the way to the end of the appointment and your client goes, well, I'm experiencing some dandruff too. Do you have a shampoo for that? You know you messed up. Because if they're having a dandruff problem, you should have found out at the beginning of the appointment, not the end, okay? And that is what will keep a client from coming back, because it's going to, when they walk out the door, they're gonna feel like their problem is only partly solved. Because some clients won't ask. They'll just go out the door and be disappointed. Wish I could have gotten a haircut too. Gosh, I wish I would have grabbed a shampoo. I wish I would have gotten this other service. I wish I would have gotten my eyebrows done too. I wish I would have gotten my eyebrows waxed too. I wish I would have gotten a pedicure too. And they're gonna walk out the door and be half pleased with everything that went on, because some clients, like I said, they won't ask. And we don't need to leave it to the clients to ask. We have to take it on ourselves as a responsibility to make every offering possible that it will ethically solve their problem, okay? Now, I'm not saying offer crap just to offer it. I'm not saying offer a haircut to everyone. I'm saying dig deep, ask the hard questions at the beginning of the consultation. Everything boils right back down to that consultation, you guys. Ask the hard questions, dig deep in that consultation, make it a worthwhile conversation so that at the end of that appointment, that client feels like everything in your power was done to solve their problems. And they're walking away happy with everything that went on, okay? Because them walking away happy isn't just about the color job being good, or the one haircut being good, or the one PMU service being good, or the cleansing part of the facial being good. It's about the entire experience from A to Z meeting their expectation. And it only does that if we know what their expectation is and every problem that they have. So, number 3, biggest mistake is not offering the client additional solutions to their problem. They should know every solution you have available, okay? That also goes along with never assuming that they're not gonna purchase retail from you. Retail should be provided and should be offered every client every time if it ethically solves their problem. Never assume just because they're a discount shopper or they're coming in for a coupon or anything like that that they can't afford your retail, okay? 9 times out of 10, you're wrong. So keep that in mind. That was number 3. I'm gonna scroll through the comments. I see we have #elite, #live. Like I said, you guys, if you are finding value in these strategies, you wanna dig deeper into them, you want those extra layers, you want those extra resources, you want the step-by-step, you want me to hold your hand through this process, #elite down below, and I will have my assistant reach out and give you access to additional resources, additional training, and additional assistance to help you get where you wanna go, achieve your goals, and put these specific strategies in place for your business, because it's super important, okay? That was number 3, not offering your clients the additional services or the additional product or the additional offerings that could be a solution to their problem. Moving on to number 4, not offering the client the ability to pre-book their next appointment, okay? We can't just assume as the client walks out the door that when they're ready, they'll come to me, okay? 9 times out of 10, that's never a thing. 9 times out of 10, we live in a world of instant gratification and of, I'll book the appointment when I'm ready. And when I'm ready is usually 24 hours before I really want it done or really need it done, okay? Made this mistake with my stylist in college, and she missed out on a couple appointments where I had to go to someone else because it was like, oh wait, I need my hair done in 24 hours. Darn it, right? So the way that you can keep your clients best on track where they achieve the best result and you counter them potentially going to someone else because you don't have a last minute opening is always, always, always pre-booking your client's next appointment while they are literally in your chair, okay? That is the number one way to keep a client coming back and keep them happy, is setting the expectation of already pre-booking their next appointment, okay? Because think of it this way. Say we go get our nails done. Technically, you're supposed to go get a fill once every 2 weeks, right? You're supposed to continue and keep up that maintenance. Most people get busy. 9 times out of 10, I think it's only been 2 weeks when in reality it's been like 4 to 5. That's just the reality of it. And by that time, my nails are already like a centimeter grown and they're lifting and they're getting caught in my hair while I'm doing my shampoo. And while I only believe it's been a short period of time, I feel like I've just got my nails done, and I'm like, damn, like they're lifting already, what the hell? In reality, I was past due for actually getting them redone. And if the nail salon had already pre-booked my following appointment, where I already had it on my calendar, it was easy, the time was blocked off, and all I had to do was show up, I wouldn't be in that position where I was past due on my maintenance. I would have already gone and gotten it done, put in the time necessary to have them looking great, wouldn't have had to rip out half my head while I was doing my shampoo, none of that. I would have been a happier client if the expectation was set that I needed to go ahead and book my next appointment while I was in the salon. And it is something that 9 out of 10 salons, spas, estheticians, etc. do not do. And it is setting a false pretense for your clients, okay? You're wondering why your clients don't book in advance like you want them to, and we blame it on things like people these days. Oh yeah, people these days, they just want to book their appointment the night before. They booked their appointment the night before because you let them. Because you set the expectation by not offering for them to pre-book right then and there on the spot. Okay? Have them pre-book their next appointment. Have them pre-book their next 3 months of appointments. But have them pre-book. For 1, it gives you a stable schedule. And for 2, it holds that client accountable for showing up to their maintenance. So at the end of the day, that client is happier with the way they look. Wendy offered a good comment and said, I have to check my work schedule. Here's what you say to that. Completely understand. Why don't we go ahead and lock in a time right now? And once you're able to check that schedule, you go ahead and get back to me if we need to make any changes. That way, you lock down a time, then and there, you have it on the calendar, and they are simply calling you to change it. Not to set it, but to change it, okay? Calling to set something is an option. Calling to change something and move it is something that's more mandatory, okay? So if you don't go ahead and lock it in, they have no commitment to you whatsoever. So you have to make them have that commitment, okay? Even if it's a temporary commitment, one that they potentially need to move, at least they are committed to a time on your calendar, okay? Super, super big point there. So that was number 4, not offering that client the ability to pre-book their next appointment. Huge mistake that we have to get around, okay? And definitely, like what you're sharing with me, Wendy, what you're sharing with me, it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and it all comes down to what your response to that is, okay? To almost every strategy we give you, some client somewhere is going to have some sort of, not necessarily negative, but objection to it. So you're gonna have clients who object to pre-booking their next appointment. You're gonna have clients who object to having a consultation beforehand. You're gonna have clients who object to having retail. The true point of success is how you respond to those objections and the way that you handle that situation. Because you're never gonna have 100% of clients going, yep, pre-booking, I am so down. Yep, retail, sign me up, good to go, take my money right now, right? That's wishful thinking. But it's all in the way we respond to it, okay? That's something that we do divulge in our elite program on a weekly basis. So yet again, you guys, if you do want that one-on-one assistance and help, I just offer for you to hashtag elite down below. We'll reach out and be sure to get you access to resources and scripts and everything that you need in order to make that happen. But that was point number 4. So now we move on to our last and final point number 5. You guys, as we are going through this, please, please, please type your questions down below. Y'all have my undivided attention for a full hour. So we have these next 30 minutes of time together to really divulge all of your questions and dive deep into what you've got going on. So be sure to type your questions down below so that we can get you that one-on-one assistance so I can help you out right here, right now, and get you answers to everything you've got going on, okay? Point number 5 is mapping out a long-term game plan for success, okay? Like I said, in regards to the appointment, in regards to after the appointment, you set the tone for your relationship with that client, okay? I should never hear the word, oh, people these days, come out of your mouth ever again, okay? Oh, people these days don't want to pre-book their appointment. People these days just want to get their products and everything off of Amazon and not from me. People these days don't want to pay my prices. People these days, people these days, people these days. No, nada, okay? You these days is the answer and the solution to that whole shebang, because you, my dear, set the tone for how your relationship with that client goes. You set the tone for the entire shebang, from the appointment to the way you run your books, to the way you run their retail, to your expectation of that client, for your expectation of all of it. You set the tone, okay? You are the one in charge of the game plan for how you work with clientele, and you set the tone as to whether or not it is a short-term or a long-term relationship. It is on you to map the game plan for that client. Because if I go in and I'm sold that this is just a quick nail appointment, I'm gonna give you some acrylics and then you're gonna walk out. Like, great, that's my expectation. I'm not expecting to set an additional appointment or to do bi-monthly maintenance or to come in regularly every 2 to 4 weeks. Wasn't told to me. They didn't communicate that. I don't even think they want me every 2 weeks. Like, it wasn't communicated, the tone wasn't set. Therefore, did I book my next appointment? Do I have it on my calendar to come in every 2 to 4 weeks for maintenance? No, I don't, okay? Same thing with hair. I can't tell you how many times, me being who I am, have just completely switched up my hair color. Like, gonna go brown this year. Let's throw some red in it. How about a little bit of pink? It's just my personality. But 9 times out of 10, the stylist that I'm working with does not set the tone for how often I need to be coming back in order to maintain that look. It's just, oh yeah, come in, we'll throw some highlights on, you'll look gorgeous, bye, see you next time, whenever the hell that is. Like, what? Or hey, yeah, I know you have bleach blonde hair right now, let me just throw some brown on that, yep, and you're good to go. When 5 weeks later, my hair is looking green, and I have no clue what to do, and I'm not gonna go back to that stylist because she didn't tell me that I have to come back every X amount of weeks in order to maintain it. Okay? These are all big things, and you are the #1 person in charge of mapping out the game plan for that client, or else again, it blows the client's expectation, okay? Their expectation of you was here, and if we don't map a game plan of what to expect in the future, you've only met that expectation up to here. There's this whole gap there, lying out there, okay? So what do I think about the hairstylist who dyed my hair brown and then 4 weeks later it turned green? She didn't set the expectation that, yeah, if we don't regularly keep dyeing this hair and keep putting brown over it or toning it or whatever that solution might be, or using a special shampoo, whatever it is, your hair is going to turn green in 5 weeks because you're putting brown on blonde, which is practically yellow, and they mix together and they make green. Yeah, science, it's great. Didn't set that expectation. So what do I think as a client when the expectation wasn't set to come back in? Oh crap, the stylist messed up. Not going back there, right? Even though obviously now I know a little bit more about the industry and how things work. But nonetheless, my expectation then, here, she met it up to here. Why? No long-term game plan. No, I need to see you back here in 3 weeks so we can put another round on it. No, we're gonna have to tone it in 4 weeks to make sure it doesn't turn green. Nada, nothing, zilch, goose eggs. So, didn't go back to her, right? Same thing with some of your clients. If you're not managing the expectation of the long-term game plan in order to not only help them achieve their immediate goal, but surpass their long-term goal and what they want to look like in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, etc. down the road, you're going to have a problem and the client is not going to want to return, okay? These are huge, huge stepping stone, you guys. They seem so simple, but it is the reason why clients don't come back, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and review points 1 through 5. Be typing in your questions down below so I can address them. I see we've got about 38 people on right now, so that is awesome. Please, please, please type in your questions down below so that I can address each and every one of them and we can get you answers to them and keep you pushing forward and moving forwards throughout your business. But number 1, just to reframe and refresh everything we've gone over. Number 1, mistake out of the 5 mistakes that beauty, salon, spa professionals make during their appointments that keep clients from coming back regularly is, of course, number 1, not doing a consultation at the beginning of the appointment and assuming whatever the client booked online is exactly what they need to solve their problem, okay? Number 2 is not explaining what they are doing throughout every step of the process. Of course, you literally have to explain in 3rd grader terminology what you're doing and what that client can expect through every stage. Number 3, not offering the client every possible solution to their problem that you have available when it comes to your service offerings, when it comes to retail, etc. So in the consultation, you have to get to the root of everything that client sees wrong with their hair or everything that client sees wrong with their skin. And you need to have a solution to every single problem, a solution to everything they see wrong. Because chances are, if they're sick and tired of their dull hair color, chances are there's other underlying issues they're sick and tired of too, whether it be split ends, whether it be it being dull, whether it be dandruff, whether it be scalp issues or oily hair or whatever it is, okay? Chances are they have other things they're upset with too that you more than likely have a solution for. So it's on you to make sure they're offered everything. The client should never have to ask. Number 4, not offering the client the ability to pre-book their next appointment, which goes into number 5, not mapping out a game plan for the long-term success of that client. Never ever forget, you guys, that you set the tone. You set the expectation of what that client can expect when working with you, of how they act when working with you, of whether or not they pre-book, of whether or not they are on your retail, whether or not they're ordering retail from Amazon, etc. Good estheticians physically won't work with a client who's not on their retail. Why? You're not going to achieve the results. It's 10% of the treatment room and 90% what you do at home. You're not going to achieve results if you're not on my home care, so why am I working on you? It's like we're fighting an uphill battle here. If we're going to be able to give you your intended result, we're going to have to go all in. It's all or nothing, okay? Again, you set the tone and your clients are going to be happier in the long term because of it. So always, always, always keep these things in mind, you guys. Right now, I am open for questions. I'm open for everything you've got. So go ahead and type your questions and everything down below and I will address each and every one of you. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up to hit on all the questions we've got so far. See, hashtag live, hashtag live, hashtag live, hashtag live. Love to see it. Kara said, do you recommend asking clients if there are any issues they're having in their wellness, beauty, personal care while you're doing their services to dig deeper and potentially solve problems in other areas with products? 1000%. Just wondering if you have any suggested wording for starting that conversation. The consultation will obviously be more specific to their service, but wondering about digging deeper. Absolutely. As that client is in your chair, you should be, unless the client is obviously one of those that's a little more reserved, you should be talking to them about these things. If you notice something, say something, okay? It is not rude to say, I see your scalp is a little bit flaky. Have we been dealing with dandruff lately? They'll tell you, or it seems your scalp is just a little bit more oily than usual. Is anything different with what you're using at home? Is anything different with what this is? Like, ask your clients these questions. Talk to them about it. Point out the things that you see that the client may be having issues with that maybe they didn't speak up about. It's totally okay. If you're an esthetician, talk about their skin. I see that we have some blackheads going on the nose right now. Is this something that's been bothering you for a little bit? Are these new, or has this been a problem for a while? I see we might have a little bit of new hyperpigmentation going on here. Is this something that's new? Have you been using sunscreen regularly? Have you been using these things? Like, those types of questions is what's gonna help you dig deep. Don't be scared to be bold, because at the end of the day, I've been thankful for every single salon, spa, or beauty professional who has taken the initiative to point out things that I don't necessarily open up about, or that I necessarily didn't say in my consultation, or on the form they had me fill out at the beginning, or whatever. I've been thankful for it, because if I was afraid to speak out about it, or maybe I assumed that it's something that they didn't help with or didn't have a solution for, I didn't say anything about it. And I've been thankful when they have said something, because then I got a solution to my problem, okay? Like, you are not there just to be, their BFF. Think about a doctor. A doctor isn't gonna see some crazy mole on your arm when you're coming in for your flu shot and not say anything, right? It is their duty, obligation, and responsibility to point out what is wrong in order to diagnose a solution. Like, I see we have a mole here that might be a problem. It looks like a little bit of an issue. Maybe we should get that addressed and looked at. Is this new? Has this popped up recently? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Think of yourself like a doctor, because a doctor is gonna pinpoint everything they see. Regardless of whether or not they're scared, maybe the client will get offended, okay? You don't just want to allude to it, you wanna be pretty direct with it, in my personal opinion, okay? And that's from a client's opinion, so it is what it is. Take it for what it's worth. So that was Kara's comment. Wendy said, I always get that I have to check my work schedule. We already addressed that. Laya said, PreBook is always necessary for massage therapy. It's always necessary for all you guys. PreBook, PreBook, PreBook. I can't stress it enough. Anuchka, I probably just hella butchered that, and I apologize if I did. She said, nice advice, you're welcome. Wendy said, thank you, of course. Anuchka, again, I'm probably butchering your name, girlfriend, and I'm very sorry about that. Said, what's your advice for people starting out to get clients? First and foremost, I recommend being heavily involved in your local Facebook groups. That's going to be a free way to network locally and to network with people who are in your area and potentially have what is the word I am looking for? Like interests to you. So if you're a vegan, join a vegan group that's locally. If you have kids, join moms groups, those types of things. Join groups of people with like interests to you so that you can really get involved with those types of people and network and introduce your business to them. It's gonna be the best free way to get started and to start getting interest and start getting clients raising their hands and ready to come to you. We actually are releasing an entirely new Facebook group strategy to our elite community in the newest upgrade that's coming up. We're actually having a whole studio built. It's awesome. And we're filming this new upgrade next week, which is so exciting. So if you guys do want access to those resources and access to a lot of that content that just goes so much deeper into these Facebook group strategies and all these strategies, even that I'm talking about on this call, hashtag elite down below. I'll have my assistant reach out and get you access to some of those resources, talk to you one-on-one, and give you some good direction to these things that we've got going on. So definitely 100% Facebook groups, great way to go. Luz said, how do we target our ideal clients? That's a pretty loaded question. So it kind of comes down to, one, are you clear on who your ideal client is? Okay, the way I want you to get clear on that is literally to sit down right now and think about who in the hell is my favorite client so far. Who is literally my favorite human being that comes to sit in my chair, okay? Once you think about who that is, and don't be afraid to be special or to select favorites or any of that, it's okay, pick a favorite. Literally, I'm telling you, like, people that you hate are people that you hate. Pick your favorite, 100%. And then I want you to map out like literally who they are. Are they a mom? Are they a working professional? Are they a teacher? Are they a nurse? Are they a stripper? You never know, okay? That's a market, I'm just saying. Are they men specifically? What age is this woman? Is she, 25? Is she 45? Those are two completely different markets, that type of thing, okay? Once you lock down who your ideal client is, I want you to think about that client's online lifestyle. Are they primarily on Facebook? Do they say screw Facebook, and are they on Instagram? Where do they hang out? Are they in specific Facebook groups usually? Where are they hanging out? Are they usually saying screw social media and they want to meet people in person? I know it's COVID, but there are certain people who would rather meet who they work with in person. So do you need to get involved in local networking? That's a big part of locking down your ideal client, is figuring out where do they hang out and how can I get in front of them. It's not all about Facebook ads, okay? Facebook ads are awesome, but for beginners, I really like to recommend a lot more of the organic methods, because it is going to get you further faster. I know we all think that if I just get the perfect ad or the perfect post out there, everything's gonna be great. But that's not 100% true. And it's dependent on so many different variables, it's crazy. When in reality, the thing that's gonna bring you the most success is getting in front of the right people and saying the right things to get the right booking, okay? So to get in front of the right people, we have to, for one, figure out who those people are and lock down the profile of our ideal client. Male, female, age. Are they a mom? Are they not? Are they a professional? Like, what do they do? Do they enjoy working out? Like, what does their life look like? And then getting in front of them online and offline, okay? So there's a little tidbit on that. Kristen said live, welcome, love to see it. Karina said treat/explain to every client every time the process, 1000%. Cannot stress how important that is. Like, literally, that is probably one of the #1 reasons I have left beauty professionals in the past, is because they've left me freaking confused. Like, for example, again, this damn nail salon I went to on Friday. Everyone who came in, she would tell them to go wash their hands and not tell them where. Hand washing station is like in a corner in the back where you can't even see. Like, go wash your hands. Okay, great. Where? Like, everything just comes across as rude from that point. Over-explain, over-explain, over-explain everything you've got going on down to the last little detail, okay? Super, super freaking important. Sirocco said, direct your clients, don't just suggest. 100%. You want to give them a clear direction over what they need to be doing. Anushka said, all good. Her name is Anushka. She spelt it for me in a way that I can totally read. So thank you, honey, because I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. I am like the worst with names that are not just super freaking basic, like Taylor or Katie. I guess my name is literally Katie Lynn White. It's like as basic as it gets. I didn't have to get fancy with any of the pronunciation there. So, not really good with overly enunciated words. So thank you for sticking with me through that. Christina said, how about if they say, let me get back with you because I don't know what my schedule looks like yet. So we addressed this a few minutes ago. Basically, you want to say, like, completely understand, let's go ahead and lock down a time anyways. And if for any reason you need to move it, we can make that happen. All you have to do is just give me a call or shoot me a text, okay? You want to still push them to lock in the time. Lock in the time, lock in the time, lock in the time. Because I would much rather deal with actually moving a time for a client versus not even having them on the calendar in the first place, okay? You'd much rather want to have the first problem of having to move to a different time because it didn't actually line up with their schedule that they didn't have on them versus having to go try and get the appointment again in the first place, okay? And I'll tell you why also. A lot of people will say like, oh, I have to check my schedule and things like that. It's 2020, okay? Everyone's schedule is on their phone and everyone's phone is with them at their appointment. There is a very small percentage of people who actually have their schedule on a planner that they don't keep with them at all times, okay? If they're keeping their schedule on a planner, 9 times out of 10, they actually have that planner with them. So, all that to say, it is a little bit of BS and them kind of giving you a smoke screen if they're saying like, oh, I have to go check my schedule, okay? So giving that little additional push, they'll more than likely be able to pull out their schedule right then and there in order to address that and actually book the appointment. Sometimes you just got to push a little bit further and say, completely understand. why don't we go ahead and choose a time that you think will work for you and move it later if need be? Super, super simple. Let's see, we have lots of hashtag elites. That is so, so awesome, you guys. I will be having my assistant reach out for anyone that's joining us new. If you do have I can't think today, excusez-moi. If you do want additional help and additional assistance applying these strategies, you want additional resources that are going to help you actually have like scripts and processes and systems in place to have these strategies on a daily basis and a weekly basis, definitely hashtag elite down below. I will have my assistant reach out to you, deliver you some resources, some trainings, and offer some one-on-one help in order to help get these strategies in place for your business, because that's what's so important, right? Okay, you're not just here to listen to me blab, we're here to do, we're here to take action. So hashtag elite down below if you're gonna take action, baby. Let's see. Sirocco said, ideal clients equals keeping your boundaries. And join those Facebook groups, answer people's questions, be involved, comment, compliment. Love it, 100%. Being involved in those Facebook groups, I can't express how important it is, because when you're involved in Facebook groups that are in your local area, you're literally in front of local people 24/7, local people who are all potential clients. All it takes is like one person hovering over your profile and seeing where you're at and who you are and what you do in order to book an appointment. Seeing that, you know, this is Katie with Katie Aesthetics, hovering over my profile, seeing that after I've delivered value or complimented someone or just interacted in some way in that group in order to get an appointment booked. And we've seen it happen time and time again. Like literally just the simplest interactions that have nothing to actually do with your business, just simply being involved and talking to people and networking and answering people's questions and offering value and those types of things. Hell, giving a coffee shop recommendation, like just engaging and talking to people can turn into an appointment so quickly. So quickly, it's insane. It's crazy, okay? We have had people post things in Facebook groups literally in regards to like, what is your favorite escape from your kiddos? What is your favorite way to like get out of the house, say screw you to the kids for the day, and go do whatever you want to do? What's your favorite way to treat that day? And literally book appointments, 10 appointments, 20 appointments, and more off of literally just a post as simple as that. Why? Because it's not about just pitching your business all the time. It's about relating to people. And the more you can be in local Facebook groups, relating with local people, your business can blow up like that. It's insane. Let's see. Christine said hashtag live. Welcome. Christina said, how and where do you find your ideal clients? We did cover that about 10 minutes ago in this training. So once this finishes, definitely go back and rewatch this whole thing. It will get you the answer to that question. April said smooth for sure. Sirocco said that was great. Love your hair. Thank you. We're going for the brighter look. April said hashtag elite, awesome. Christina said thank you. Crystal said hashtag elite. Marbell said hashtag elite. That's great, you guys. I will definitely have my assistant be reaching out to everyone who said hashtag elite and making sure that we can get you guys access to some of those resources and one-on-one assistance that is going to help you apply these strategies and get them in place for your business. With that said, you guys, it is 8:53. You have my attention for 7 more minutes. With that time, I'm gonna go ahead and just review one more time those 5 appointment mistakes that are made during salon and spa appointments that you can avoid that will lead to a longer retention for you and your clients. Number 1, not doing a consultation and or assuming that what the client booked for themselves was exactly what they needed. 100% of the time, book or do a consultation and talk about the needs of that client. 9 times out of 10, what they booked online is not what they needed, or what they called to book over the phone is not necessarily what they needed. Dive deep as you can in that consultation. Number 2, not explaining what you're doing every step of the way. Huge, have to do that, okay? Literally will make or break the expectation for your client. Number 3, not offering the additional solutions to your client's problems, okay? So that goes along with kind of what we were saying of, you know, you are the doctor, you are supposed to be prescribing the solution. A doctor doesn't find out I have strep and only prescribe a Z-Pack. He prescribes the Z-Pack, he gives me a recommendation for cough drops, He gets me like whatever, nasal spray, like whatever I need. He recommends all the solutions I need, not just one of them because he's afraid about the price, right? Same thing for you. Literally start treating yourself like you are a doctor. You are prescribing a solution to their problems, to every one of their problems, not just a select one that they decided they wanted to take care of that day. So be sure, keep that in mind 100%. Number 4 was not offering the client the ability to pre-book their next appointment. 100% of the time, offer them to pre-book. And number 5, mapping out a game plan for their long-term success. So setting the expectation of, we're gonna need you back every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks to maintain this. Here's what our plan is gonna be for each of those visits. And you should map out whether or not you're going ahead and getting those on the schedule. Highly recommend. What the retail plan is. So here I'm giving you these shampoos. You're going to need to come back in, and refill on this shampoo every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks, however so often those shampoo bottles usually last, how much shampoo they should be using out of it, all these things, okay? You set the tone for it. You set the tone, you set the tone, you set the tone. I cannot stress enough how much you set the tone, okay? You are the number one benefactor as to why your clients, or whether or not your clients are actually taking advantage of your retail, pre-booking their appointments, etc. And if your clients aren't, we need to stop pointing the finger at the clients and start pointing the finger at ourselves and figuring out what we can do differently, say differently, etc. in order to get those bookings and set that expectation. Kristen said, when pre-book, call clients 1 to 2 days before app. I'm not sure what that means. Can we elaborate on that a little bit more? Christine said, how can I increase my clientele? I've been religiously posting every day on Instagram and Facebook, maybe except Sunday. However, traffic is quite low. Here is the thing about just posting on Instagram and Facebook. It's like, I'm trying to think of like the best analogy. Like you're casting a net, but you have no clue as far as like what's going to be able to come in. Like you're just putting something out there and hoping that it sticks and hoping that someone sees it. You're hoping you're in an area where there's fish, right? You're hoping you're in an area where something's gonna come on your line. Little fishing analogy. You wanna go somewhere where you know there's people, or you want to do something to attract those fish to you, okay? We don't wanna just throw a line with a hook and hope a fish eats the hook. We wanna throw a line with some bait. We wanna throw a line after we poured a little bit of liver in the water, okay? Welcome to Katie's fishing show. Like, we want to do something that's going to attract those fish to us. We want to bring them in, okay? Instagram isn't just gonna like say, oh yeah, like here's a post. Christine obviously wants me to show it to these people. It's not gonna do that. We have to bring those people to us. We have to bring them to our page. So this is where actually going out and doing the engagement yourself into other platforms and other places is going to be huge. So in regards to Instagram, you don't want to just make a post, use a couple of hashtags, and cross our fingers and pray they come to us. We want to go out and be engaging with other people, okay? That's where I've kind of coined the term intentional engagement. We want to utilize those local hashtags like hashtag Fort Lauderdale Salon, hashtag Fort Lauderdale Nails, etc. We want to go out, or hashtag Fort Lauderdale Moms. We want to go on to that hashtag and we want to be engaging with those people. We want to go to them, okay? Not expect them to come to our profile. We have to go out and do the work. Same thing with Facebook pages and Facebook groups, okay? Facebook pages only reach 5% of the people that are following them. If you have 500 followers, you're only getting about 50 people to see your post every time you post it, okay? 5%. So instead of utilizing just posting on your Facebook page or just posting on your profile, you want to go out and go to those people. So you want to go into Facebook groups, is primarily where the place is on Facebook, and be engaging and talking to people and making posts, etc., and following the proven strategies there. There's lots of things you can get. I would recommend you actually utilizing the units tab of this group. If you want assistance on what trainings would be best, hashtag elite down below, and my assistant will give you some recommendations as far as what trainings will be best for you and guide you in that direction. But regardless, there's so many trainings over there when it comes to Facebook groups, how to set up your Facebook page, Instagram, all these things in a way that gets clients. Kathleen Reidenbach actually used a lot of the trainings in those units tab to make $7,000 before she ever even joined Real Beauty Bosses programs. Like, there's so much information in there. It can make you loads of money, so I highly recommend it. And if you do want assistance on choosing which trainings would be best fit for your time, #elite down below. My assistant will reach out, kind of divulge that with you, and give you recommendations as far as what trainings are best suited for you and your needs. But highly recommend that. What else can I do as I am my team? Absolutely. Just what I said just before. Denise said #live. Hello. Vlad said, is it a good idea to offer a free manicure for new clients who get a cut and color? Yeah, I mean, that all kind of boils down to what your in the door offer is. So you definitely just want to get clear on what you're wanting to do. I probably would recommend having your in the door offer relate to one service alone. So instead of bringing in like a manicure with a cut and color, it's like 2 different services. I'd recommend like just getting people in the door for a cut and color offer. And then when they're in, kind of go through that consultative process of, you know, seeing their nails, recommending things for their nails, recommending eyebrow waxing, etc., like depending on the services you offer. Make recommendations once they're in, but have the in the door offer just be for the one service. So with the cut and color. Alvin said, does Facebook pages allow you to post in groups that you're following? It depends on the group. Some groups do allow Facebook pages to post, some groups do not. The safest bet and the bet that we always recommend is posting in groups using your personal profile. You guys, your business is just an extension of yourself. People do business with people. People don't do business with a logo, especially if they're making a decision to do business with someone off of Facebook. They want to see you, they want to know what you look like, they want to get a vibe for who you are. Your business is an extension of yourself. So regardless of what anyone has told you or what your fears are, you should be utilizing your Facebook profile in order to market your business. 1000%, that's just the fact of it. It is one of the most effective ways to market your business. It has made people tens of thousands of dollars in our programs, 110%. It is freaking huge. Utilize your personal profile. Guarantee you it will be a game changer for your business. Christine said #elite. Awesome. Kristen said client has an appointment Tuesday at 4. Should you call to confirm the appointment? Yes. You want to do everything in your power to remind that client of the appointment. Why? 90% of America is an airhead just like me. We forget things. Sometimes things do not make it to our calendar. So always, always, always text, call, email, etc. to confirm the appointment. Most booking apps, whatever you are using to book your clients through, whether it be Vagaro, Acuity, Booker, Gloss Genius, etc., should have the ability to set up automatic text messages and email reminders for those clients. But I definitely always recommend also giving them a manual call to remind them of their appointment. Awesome, awesome. Christina said, when's the best time to post on Facebook and Instagram? So there's 1,000,001 Pinterest graphics and crap out there that says like, oh, post between 2 and 4 or post between 5 and 7. All that is exactly what I said it is. It's crap. You need to think about when your specific ideal client is on Facebook and Instagram, okay? Because Instagram and Facebook can tell me all day long that it's better to post on Wednesdays, but I know that like 50% of you guys take Mondays off. And Mondays is your I'm gonna work on the business day, and that's when you're scrolling through my books, or my groups, you're scrolling through my YouTube, you're scrolling through my everything. So Mondays, hey, I'm going live on Monday right now. Guess why? Because I know that Mondays are the best time for you guys, okay? Same thing for your ideal clients. If it's a mom, think about when is my local area's school starting and getting out? When are they sitting in the pickup line scrolling through their Facebook feed? When are they doing all these things? And that's how you can determine when the best time is for you to post online, okay? Always keep that in mind. It's not just when Facebook or Instagram says these things. Think about your ideal clients. The other thing you can do is Instagram actually has insights if you have your Instagram set up as a business profile, where you can see when a majority of your following, people who are following you, are online and actually engaging with things. So it will tell you like on Thursdays what the best time is for you when most of your followers are online, or Wednesdays or Fridays, etc. It'll tell you those times. That's also a really good resource. Christine said, thank you. You're welcome. Kara said #elite. Alvin said, thanks. You are so welcome. Ligaya, oh, I hope I didn't butcher that, but I probably did, said thank you so much, and you are so welcome. And Gail said thank you, awesome. With that said, you guys, last reminder, if you found value from this video and you want additional resources, additional help, and additional guidance on how you can apply these things into your business, scripts that you can use to apply these things, strategies, step-by-steps, etc., hashtag elite down below. My assistant will be reaching out to you guys and giving you guidance and direction on where you can go with these things, what one-on-one help can be offered to you, what resources are best for you, etc. Also, you guys, if this is your first live, I can't stress enough, add these to your calendar, okay? I am here every week at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Every single week, you should be too, okay? You should be making a commitment to yourself to show up to these, because this is completely free education and content that we are delivering to you. Like, you should be taking advantage of this. If you want to be successful in your business, showing up right here, right now, every single week should be a priority for you. It should not be on a whim. I just joined this group, so I'm just gonna hop on this week, etc. If you actually cared about your business and being successful and moving through COVID and getting more clientele, you would set this on your calendar as a non-negotiable appointment with yourself to show up, learn something, take it away, and apply it to your business, okay? You shouldn't be showing up just to show up, just to get some cool ideas and go, great information, walk away, go to bed. Everything I just taught you tonight is applicable, okay? I'm not shooting any fluff into the air. I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. Like, this is all actionable items that you can take away. And I guarantee you there is no one else in this industry who's providing as much value as we are on these different bases and on these topics for literal free, okay? My mantra is that I want you guys to make money before you ever do business with me. It is a win if I am able to make you money before you ever even decide to be a part of Real Beauty Bosses. And that's what I'm here to do for you guys. So go, make sure you take action on every single one of these items, on everything that I told you today, because I guarantee you, if you just change these 5 simple things, you will start making more money. Like, it's scientifically impossible for you not to make more money by implementing these 5 things. It's crazy. Crystal said, will this be viewable later? Yes, literally 2 minutes after I stop this live stream, this will be viewable, 100%, okay? So with that said, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here for the night. Be sure to lock this time down on your calendar moving forward in the future so that you can take advantage of all these free resources and all this free content that we've got for you. If you want to dive deeper, if you want actual direction on which resources you should be paying attention to, scripts, guides, etc., on how you can be implementing these things for your business and take everything a step further, hashtag elite down below. My assistant will reach out, give you that guidance, that one-on-one support and direction that you need. With that said, I'm gonna hop off here. I will see you guys next week, same time. Bye.